Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Sam from the Soul of Stella with another pick a card here for you today. And this one is all about what will happen when you see them next. So the person on your mind, what's going to take place, what conversations could you possibly have, what's the energy of that meeting. We're going to dive into it, but of course, as always, it's very important. You know I've been banging on about it. Please only take what resonates. This is a collective reading. There are going to be things that really speak to you, and there may be some things that won't. You might think about it later. There might be things that come up later because time is fluid, but we don't want anything to take from you. And we want to kind of use this as a chance to gain some insight, perhaps some personal development, and we are going to end with some advice. Okay, so just maybe just confirming what you already know to be true is the case here. Okay. In saying that, ground yourself, take a deep breath, tune into the energy of the person that you are thinking about or that you would like to have a meeting with. And when you have done that, this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. The timestamps are below in the description box, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, pile number 1. This is your reading, all about what will happen the next time that you see this person on your mind. And you have the card Energetic Clearing. Okay, whew. It feels like you're going to clear the air. It feels like, because I asked in the intro to tap into the energy of the person and what would happen in that meeting. And that's really interesting because I feel like there's a sense of like closure. It's a sense of relief, like especially with this person kind of like, whew, like it's a weight off your shoulders in some way. So this says, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. I get the feeling that you may even come into this meeting with this person. The next time you see this person, I'm going to call it a meeting, right? I feel like the next time you come into it, you're actually going to be in a much better place. And I think this person will be as well, in a much better place to handle, to converse, to hear each other out. And there may be like a lot of things that have been going on. I'm kind of getting the feeling that there's been many distractions between the two of you. Energetic clearing. There's a definite sense of death and rebirth here, okay? I'm very drawn to this art depiction looking very familiar to my Lightseers Tarot deck and the Judgment card. The Emperor just came out on that deck as I picked it up. So you could be dealing with someone who wants to have a rebirth with you, who wants to resurrect something with you. I'm hearing like, you remember at school, I might be showing my age, but you'd put 2 fingers under someone, like a whole group of you would, and they'd be laying on the ground and be like, light as a feather. How'd it go? Light as a feather, free as a bird. Light as a feather, free as a bird. And you would chant that, and then you'd be able to like lift them up without even carrying them. Everyone had 2 fingers underneath them. Might have been like 4 people. I remember doing that with someone once, and it was like quite a fit dude. And it felt like he was rising up out of our hands. So I don't know what that means. There's a lightness, but I don't know why someone needed to hear that story. All right, pile number 1. How will the next encounter with pile number 1's person be? 5 of Swords. There's a lot to get off your chest, I feel. King of Wands. The Chariot. How will it feel? The Devil. One more. How will this meeting go? Queen of Wands. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Someone might want to restart, especially if it has to do with love. You got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands showing up here. So yeah, it does feel like both of you have done enough work. One could be a divine masculine, one could be a divine feminine, as energy, not as gender though. there's a definite sense of like, if we can clear the air, what we'll be able to do is step into our personal power. Each of us will be able to step into our personal power, and then we'll be able to move forward, not just with communication, but physically move forward with a sense of lightness, of being away from toxicity with that devil energy there. I want to clarify though, the Ace of Cups coming out really speaks to me with the devil though. It feels like this darkness or dark period has served its purpose. Okay, it feels like, and look at the energy of like the darkness has served its purpose. We needed the dark to see the light, to appreciate the light. High Priestess underneath. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I get the sense that you both knew this as well. It's interesting that there's very similar colorings all on these cards, and then this card, and then this card are so dramatically different. It's like super light blue and then vibrant green, and the rest are these purpley dark colors, and this like burgundy kind of color, right? So there's something very healing that had to take place so that a freshness and a groundedness could come through here. And I feel like it's been divinely guided for your highest good, okay? For your highest good in this situation. I feel like you're also both coming into this with a sense of newfound confidence because of the work that you've possibly done, because of the clearing, because it feels like a sense of forgiveness. What is going to be achieved in this meeting? Six of Cups under the Five of Swords. What is going to be achieved in this meeting, in this encounter? The Seven of Coins and the Lovers. Coming out under the King of Wands. Yeah, the masculine here really has intentions to water the plant, right? They have intentions to invest for more growth within this connection. What is the outcome of this meeting? What is the outcome of this meeting? Queen of Cups under the Chariot. What is the outcome of this meeting? I'm hearing like the Eye of the Storm with that devil energy. Then we have the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Coins. What will come of this meeting? And under the Queen of Wands, we have the Ace of Coins and the Magician. High Priestess again showing up at the bottom of the deck. So it does feel very divinely guided. It feels almost like a test. I know that's a really... Sometimes it can be such a difficult thing to hear. It's like, why did the universe want to test me in that way? Honestly, why? I do feel like there's something that went down between the two of you. It feels like a battle of egos, to be completely honest, with the two wand figures, and with the Five of Swords. It feels like it feels petty. It feels a bit like tit for tat. And it's like our bond is stronger than this, so why did we need to do that to each other? You could be dealing with... You could both be fire signs, to be honest. But I'm also picking up like a nostalgic energy here. So Cancer energy big time. And a sense that we're bigger and better than this, and that's possibly why there's an energetic clearing. I don't think too much time has actually passed by here. It could have been like 11 days with the High Priestess coming out twice there. It could be 11 days. And only because I'm looking at it as an 11, right? There's the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there was a separation. There's definitely been a separation here, but I do feel like this King of Wands has wanted to invest. With the Chariot and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Gee, that card's super dirty. I need to wipe that down. Interesting. It's like, can we move forward from the pettiness? Can we move forward from the imbalance. There's a sense of someone was giving more, someone was nurturing this connection more. I do believe it was the Queen of Wands here, and the Queen of Wands is actually saying, well, I'm only going to give my nurturing energy in the same capacity that I was, if you're willing to meet me halfway, if you're willing to drive this chariot forward with me. And I think the King of Wands here is saying that they will, because they've got the Seven of Pentacles and the Lovers, right? So it's like, okay, I know I need to water, I need to fertilize, I need to harvest, I need to trim. Like if we're talking about like growing plants, we're just complicated plants. Humans are complicated plants. And I think this person is really saying, I understand that now. I do see where my ego was getting in the way, where perhaps there's a sense of immaturity was getting in the way here. And the Queen has just had jack of it, really. She just had jack of it. There was a sense also that someone was extremely burdened by a new opportunity, or that kept thinking that there was a new opportunity. There is something gambling about this, though, I have to say, where someone burdened the financial situation in an immature way, where someone played their luck when it came to matters of finance or matters of material things, and didn't handle this situation very well. In fact, made it a burden, made the finances a burden between these two people, made it someone else's responsibility, or put too much responsibility on someone else's shoulders because of their immature actions. I think this person wants to give, and give a lot back to this Queen of Wands, okay? There's a sense that they want to give the Queen of Wands in this meeting. It could be you, it could be them, an offer, a gift, a thank you. You know, it could be as simple as a bunch of flowers. But with the Magician, I feel like it's a powerful gesture, no matter how big or small. It feels like this is something that could really mend this situation. And I think there's limitless potential within the desire to change, and the desire to grow, and the desire to acknowledge that there was a higher learning here, and that the lesson has been learnt. There is also a sense, though, that there's still work to be done. You know, it's a small offering, but there's still so much to be done. But it feels like the King of Wands here is a willing participant in understanding the spiritual growth here, and understanding their part in perhaps limiting your growth for a period of time if you're resonating as the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Okay, let's find out what else is at play here. What else is at play between these two when it comes to their next encounter? Mars action. Yeah, they realize it's time to take action. There's also a sense of it's almost like especially with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, there's a sense of like, if we get too close, this thing is going to really heat up really quickly, right? So I think there's a sense of discussion that has to happen first and foremost, but really simmering below the surface is this heat, is this passion. And it's like, I just heard boxing clever. Okay, so that's like a figure of speech. You're boxing clever when you can use your words. I think that means, if someone can comment down below what that actually means, but that's how I see it. It's like using your words to get your way. There's a flirtiness to it for sure, but there is an underlying sense that you dug in where you shouldn't have. You took it a little too far. And not you, either one of you, okay? Someone took it too far here. And I feel like you both realize how good each other looks, okay? There's a sense of very, very magnetically drawn to each other. The chemistry is on point. And someone's looking really fit as well. Someone's been working out. Someone's been working on their strength. I'm really, really feeling, though, that there's an ego strength here. Okay, so it's like, okay, I can now, there's a maturity. That's what it is. As there's a growth, there's a maturity. And instead of coming at this from a place of competition, I think there's now this drive forward. And definitely with the Chariot energy here, there's a drive forward for, let's clear the air and okay, now we can get on track. It's like you don't want the wheels to come off the chariot, so it's like clear the road ahead. Okay, and it's a stitch in nine saves time. It's a plan to make sure that the road ahead is really clear. It's like looking at your GPS on your phone, and as you see the plan ahead, as you see the route ahead, the journey ahead, you go, oh, there's all that red line there, there's congestion there. Okay, let's reroute. What's the next option, Siri? Like, we're gonna go where? So it's really like clearing the way, making sure there's no tunnels or tolls or accidents or anything like that in the way here. There's a thirst. There's definitely a thirst coming through. And then we've got Libra and the Idealist. Look, I think that's definitely the clearing energy here. It's the idea of, okay, now that we've spoken about this, can we put our rose-colored glasses back on and actually have this pleasant, okay, it feels very pleasant. I want to say idealistic, but it's not. Because of this Idealist, it's like, it's not a pipe dream, okay? It's just having a sense of positivity. That's what it is. A sense of positivity about the situation. Again, it feels really mature, so I love that for you. It's balanced. Something comes into balance. You're both very like gracious with your apologies and acceptance and forgiveness and discussions, and no one's pushing anyone too far, because it's like, well, we don't need to say what we don't need to say. We've reconciled things in our own mind, and we understand that we're humans, and you know, if I said that to them, yeah, I would have said the same back to me. And it's forgiving the pettiness. It's the little things don't need to be discussed here, because if we bring them back up, there's a sense of, well, look, we're getting too far into like anger. Okay, we're getting too far into the opposite of our desires. The opposite of our desires. We want to be more decisive about what we hear. Okay, what we hear. Interesting. So that you can choose a better path. It really feels like you're clearing the air so you can move forward in the best possible way. Chiron in reverse, healing energy at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, I think this is really like you're coming in quite healed, both of you. High Priestess showing up on the bottom of each deck just feels like you've both done the inner work. You've both reconciled a lot within your personalities as well. What is the overall vibe? What is the overall vibe of this situation, please? When pile number one and their person come back into contact when they have their next encounter. It feels like not a formal setting, but it feels like a couch convo, you know? Energy. Look at that's Mars all the way, 100%. There's so much, tension. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into some canoodling on the couch. I'll take that one as well. We have mystery. Yeah, and that's the High Priestess coming up twice. Okay, mystery. Two parties who have tapped into themselves. And look, it feels like a very divine connection, that there's a lot of passion between the two of you. And there's a lot of spirituality between the two of you. It's like when you engage, when your wires cross, you know, in that way, there's an explosive kind of power that comes from this. Very much power couple vibes with limitless potential. And I think that's why it's coming through with this magician energy and the Ace of Cups of like, look, we don't want to ruin a good thing, because it's like a rarity. There's a sense that this is a rare kind of occasion. This is a rare to meet one another, you know, not to actually have this meeting, but to find your other soul, right? Someone who really deeply understands you. Okay, what could be said? I know that I crossed the line with you. Yep. What could be said in this encounter? What could be said? I think you'll both be admitting that. I'm becoming a better person, 100%, physically, mentally, emotionally. I wish things could be different. Yeah, look, I wish things could be different is exactly the Chariot energy, is exactly the action and the Libra energy here. It's like, all right, let's set things right. And Libra is a very love based sign, motivated sign, I should say, very love motivated sign. So it feels physical and it feels soulful. That's 100% the feeling that I'm getting. What else is going to be happening in this connection? What else will be happening in this meeting, in this encounter? take action again. Look, if one doesn't, then now you are equipped with the knowledge that it needs to be you. Okay. Shoot your shot. Fly too close to the sun. It's worth it. Icarus kind of energy there. Communicate clearly. There's a sense of good banter, friendliness, someone who really gets you, finishing each other's sentences, being on the same page. And this situation will improve. Again, with the dolphins, it gives me really good friendship vibes. It gives me, okay, let's start again. It gives me loyalty and intellectual conversation as well. So there is a need for discussion before physical contact really like takes the reins here. Okay, what is the overall advice for pile number 1 when it comes to this encounter, their next time they see the person on their mind? What is the overall advice for pile number 1? Letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. 10 of Wands here. Too much responsibility. And also grudges aren't a great look. Yeah, clearing the air, clearing the baggage, lightening the load. You may have both actually lost weight. Like that's very prominent. You might have both actually done a lot of physical clearing at home. Maybe there was something where someone had to really detach from their addictions, like I said, with this gambling energy. Look, it could be like a full-blown addiction, but it could very much just be like a few, like, immature, I have to keep saying that word, a few purchases that were really naive that put a lot of stress on someone else's shoulders. And it was like, you knew what we were trying to achieve here. Why did you go and do that? And there's a sense of this person going, oh, do you know what? I didn't actually need that. And I've changed the way that I view material things and changed the way that I view money. But I've also changed the way that I no longer hold someone to their petty or their silly or their immature behavior. It's that kind of thing where something became, it was, I don't want to say it was a molehill and someone made it a mountain, because whatever this thing was, it obviously hurt the other person, one of you. And it was obviously important enough that it needed healing. But there is a sense that, well, if we really treat the core root of this thing, then it doesn't need to become this huge mountain that we can't overcome. Okay. Options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Magician. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts, like you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Okay, so yeah, it feels rare. It feels like something that not everyone would be open to, but it also feels like a cornucopia. It feels abundant, and that the options from here are vast. You know, what you choose to do with this, I mean, you could actually just remain friends, possibly friends with benefits with the like heat that I'm getting from this, but there really is a sense of like soulmate energy, and friends can be soulmates, don't get me wrong. But there's also a sense that, like, if you wanted to make this something more committed, you absolutely could. But there are options, so you don't have to. You can still feel the energetic clearing of this and still have this clear path forward as friends. It feels rare, you know, because there's a prawn on the top of, and a chicken wing, and it's on top of a sundae, you know. It's like, that's a weird combo. My taste buds are going off. But look, it strangely reminds me of Monterey in California. So if anyone is watching from Monterey in California, please let me know, because that's very specific. Story of my life. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn the Pulitzer Prize for Best Inner Monologue. Okay? Interesting. There's a real joy that comes from that, though. There's a real joy. Like, someone might be like, so many crazy things have happened in my life that I'm actually easily pleased, and that I can really be quite forgiving. And this is not to be a people pleaser, right? With the Libra energy here and the rose-colored glasses. Look, I'm not going to be a people pleaser. I'm very aware of what's happening, but I'm also very discerning. Discerning is the word. You know, it's like when I say only take what resonates in a reading, it's like one of you or both of you, and this is your advice, you are really going, look, I know things like this happen. I know I'm human. We're imperfect. I'm enjoying that though. And I know that like I've done some silly things with money in my past. And if we're discussing it, and so, again, with the flowers, if someone's coming through with flowers and they're like, I'm sincerely apologizing. Look, I really have learnt my lesson here. I did cross the line. I'm letting that go. There's a clearing. There's a clearing. Are you going to walk through it together? Yes. In what capacity though? Friends, lovers, colleagues, it's up to you. But there's a sense of this actually has a happy ending. It feels quite light. It feels quite joyful. It feels quite heated in the best kind of way. And I think it was necessary to have this air of mystery cleared out. Okay, let's all just put everything on the table here. And now that we've said it as two grown adults, now we can move forward the way we intend to move forward. I love that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments below how it resonated. And I will see you in the next one. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. This is how will the next encounter with your person go? What's going to happen? What's going to be said? What's the overall vibe of that situation? What's going to happen when you meet with your person, whoever that is on your mind? Of course, only take what resonates. So we have right action. Aphoresia, how do you say that? Aphorasia literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. Right action. Okay. Righting wrong. It feels like communication with all this blue energy and the little bluebirds. The doves of peace, I guess you could say. Let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. It feels like this is a sense of, look, If they want to be my friend again, if they want to reignite this connection, sure. If they want to stay, you know, they'll stay. If they don't, they won't, and that's okay. I just looked up, and on my vision board, there's a card that says enchantment. Look, I think that potentially there's been a lot of wishing and hoping and dreaming about this situation. It feels like someone's put it's like someone's put a spell on the other person, and someone's deeply enchanted and enthralled with someone, and then someone else is comme ci, comme ça, you know, like, whatever. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. Enchantment. It feels like an outdoor event where you meet. It feels like daytime. It could be a barbecue. Princess of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. Yeah. Could be a celebration of some sort. Right action. It could be, for some of you, it's like is it called a bat mitzvah? When it's like a coming of age kind of event, maybe. Okay, interesting. The Hangman. What will happen with pile number 2? What is the situation when they meet next? The Sun. Yeah, daytime for sure. The Tower. Look, there's a bit of drama. There's a bit of drama. There's a bit of fire. Why do I want to get another card? I started shuffling again. Interesting. Is there something else? Is there something else? Ah, who is the Princess of Pentacles? And what? Okay. King of Pentacles. Is this a father-daughter situation? Ace of Pentacles. Someone's going to gift you something as a someone's going to right the wrongs of the past and communicate clearly about why they weren't able to show up before. Okay, that's very specific for some of you. This also could be that you are dealing with an older man, especially if you were a younger woman. But only take these gender-based titles as energy, not as gender. But it does feel like someone's bringing something to the party here, quite literally. And there could be alcohol involved. Of course, if you're of age, there's a celebration of sorts here. Again, it feels very feminine. It feels like it could be a bridal shower. Look, that could very much be the case here. It could be a bridal shower, a baby shower, something like that. The Empress energy isn't showing up, but I'm getting like that father figure, so I have to mention it. And she kind of does look pregnant, okay? Princess of Pentacles right there. Kind of does look pregnant. She's wearing a red dress, so there's something scarlet that I'm picking up with this woman, with this energy. There's a youthfulness to her. There's a celebration of her beauty. It feels like whoever is coming in, right? And this King of Pentacles was clarifying the Princess of Pentacles. And I said, who is it? But I think that's helping us to identify who it is between two people. I don't think that this king was clarifying that they're one and the same. I think it's like, oh, you will know them because of this person. And I think that this person, potentially, someone's been waiting in limbo for the other one. It's a meeting that's been long overdue and that needed to come into the daylight. It needed to have a positive spin, right? It needed this right action to come around after a period of, crumbling, after a period of, something completely falling to the ground. Very much with this Tower energy, I'm picking up home, okay? So abandonment, it's often depicted, and you can see it, people like jumping out of this building here. So it's often depicted as like a building that is collapsing. So it feels like a home environment has collapsed and someone dipped, they jumped out the window. They're like, see ya. Before they had to face the fire, before they had to face the music, okay? All right, so what is the outcome of this situation? Whoa. I'm going to take those two to clarify this. We have the Knave of Coins and the Two of Wands. This person is admitting, I'm strongly getting this. So if this isn't resonating for you, this might not be your pile. But take it as like if you feel like, oh, that King of Pentacles sounds quite like my cousin or my brother or my uncle or my lover or, someone like, or my baby daddy, something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be father figure, but that's kind of what I was getting. Someone who was meant to be a provider or who was sending money but wasn't actually giving their presence, if you know what I mean. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So someone that has found their emotions enough or has grounded their emotions enough to be able to come forward, admitting that they were immature before, and also that I think that they didn't feel like they were enough, okay? Very much showing this person didn't feel like they were enough. They weren't ready to make... They weren't ready for something, okay? That's too many. What is the outcome of this situation, of this meeting? The Moon under the Three of Cups. It's almost like, how did you know this was happening? Like, I feel like this person was not invited, but like, yeah, here they are. Interesting. The Hangman has the Eight of Coins. Someone's found the perspective of understanding they need to work on something here. The Two of Coins and the Ten of Wands. Balance needs to be brought to a situation that was overly burdensome. This is why things need to be set right. There's a positive outcome when it comes to balance. We're going to use all of those wands to build a ladder to happiness. Nine of Swords. Five of Cups. Knight of Cups. Someone's having someone have it, like letting someone have it in terms of letting them really know what's up here. Letting them know, look, you left me in a state of poverty. And that could be emotional, it could be physical. You left me in a state of despair. I felt an immense state of loss when you walked away, when you left, when you abandoned ship, you know. You caused me a lot of sleepless nights. You caused me a lot of pain and disappointment. And I actually have found it difficult to trust people moving forward. I have difficulties trusting people's pure intentions. And I accept your apology, but it comes with a whole lot of truth telling. Look, I feel like this person that you're dealing with, you or them, and I'm just going to say this person, I think this person is going to say, I understand all of this. So if you, it could be that before you even say, you kept me like in a state of despair, you really rocked my boat, you really caused me a lot of pain, they're going to say, I know I caused you a lot of pain. I know that you may find it hard to trust me. I know that this apology is... it has the potential to be too little too late. I'm very, very aware of that because it's almost like I gave you too much space. I gave you too much space. You know, I'm feeling a sense of NASA about that. I gave you too much space. It was an experiment gone wrong. It was it was a misfire, like a failure to launch something here. Interesting. But now I'm willing. Okay. This person really does want to invest. They want to work on this. They've thought long and hard about this. It feels like they haven't not thought about it. Like not a day's gone by where they haven't thought, like, had you on their mind and been almost planning how to make this up to you. I think this person has materially been working very hard, like at their job or career, to the point where they're really proud, just quietly though, they're quietly proud of the financial status that they have gained now, and they really feel like that a financial reimbursement, I guess, is going to soften the blow of this, and it does, it really does. And that's not to diminish the emotional scarring here, and that there's obviously a gap between like where you emotionally abandon this situation and compared to where you think you can mend it with money. My nose is getting really itchy, so your spirit guides, my spirit guides, very much saying like that feels very true for some of you. There's a real depth to this person's emotions. This person could have been over drinking, and that's possibly what took them away in the first place, where they couldn't face themselves, where they couldn't follow through on something, and where they dwindled away what could have been something so good. They might have been under a lot of financial pressure, possibly from another party. So if it's like a parent figure, it could have been the other parent kind of saying, look, I want to build this house and that house, and I have all these expectations, and this person freaked the F out. And they just couldn't follow through on that. And there was a sense of darkness around like their self-worth, and potentially they turned to the drink to understand this. But I think pretty quickly they alchemized that darkness and used it to push themselves forward, and to the point where they're showing up quite successful now. And someone who wants to reconcile, repair, like all the R's, the right action, they want to bring this into light. And it's a very light, happy, it feels like a quilt, you know, it's like a yellow quilt. It's like, we're going to lay this on the bed and that's going to be our memory now, you know. Yes, I can forgive and forget, but there's a sense of it's all woven in. It's all woven into our story. Interesting. Leo, the lover. So for some of you, this very much is someone who is a lover. It could be the father or mother of your children. It could be someone who said they would provide, and potentially for some time they did not, and they left you quite out in the cold. I really see this as your energy. You're very warm, very playful. It's almost, and that's very Princess of Pentacles energy, where it feels like someone just wants to give it to you. They want to provide to you. And it's not like they want to take care of you in like a creepy way or possess you or anything like that. It's just that you have such a vibrancy to you. You have such a, you might be quite a flirtatious kind of person, very charming, very expressive. This person is just magnetized towards you. It's really loving. It's really beautiful. And you're quite a trusting, proud person yourself, but there is a sense of like, you also understand darkness. And I mean, the Leo is coming up strong here with the sun as well. Cancer Pisces with the moon. Capricorn energy, strong. Taurus Virgo energy. We've got all the signs. What else is at play here? What else? Sagittarius, the Voyager. This offer, this Ace of Pentacles, could be that this person's asking you to take a trip with them, or asking them you to take a chance on them. And I heard that, is it ABBA? Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. In the background, King of Cups, Justice. If I set this right, where to from here? It's very expansive. Like, I don't feel like this conversation is happening in that first meeting. It feels too informal. It feels like a celebration, and like you don't want to have, like, this is such heavy energy as it is. You don't want to derail the party, I guess. But there is a sense of like, well, let's make the next meeting. It feels like a plan, you know, like a plan, a date. Let's make a meeting where we can, you know, just have fun with each other. It might be like, well, we've done this together. Well, it feels like it might be like 4th of July kind of celebrations, a long weekend, something like that. And it's like, here we have one party, but how about we back it up like tomorrow or the next day or the next weekend and go to the fair or a festival, or it's like a weekend trip, or let's just go for a drive together, and you could go horseback riding. Like, there's something quite honest, wholesome about it, but it's also like, if we go and have fun together, Scorpio, the animal at the bottom of the deck, someone's like really trying to make light of something that's super serious, and they know that it's almost like if not go slow, but if we tread lightly and just focus on the joy and the happiness, we can really transform this situation through positivity. Not everything needs to be so doom and gloom and heavy. It's a heavy thing as it is, but it's almost like making up for lost time, right action. Okay, it's like, here's our convo. Now, as we move forward, let's not waste another minute. Let's go and have fun and do all the things that we should have done when we were younger, or that we should have done when you were younger. Okay, if it's a father figure. It's like very happy-go-lucky about the situation. It feels really good, and that's a different approach. That's not everyone's approach. You have space here, and I was picking up on NASA, so that's interesting. Look, in the empty spaces, there was a lot of despair, a lot of dismay between the two of you, but that space allowed for a lot of clear thought, is the kind of image that I'm getting. A lot of clear thought, where it's like, well, it is what it is. It was what it was. Something that wanted to go, and then something that's wanted to comes back, you know? It's like the nature of things, the nature of the world, and it's very mature of you both to realize that it is what it is, and that you can't change the past, but you can absolutely impress upon the future a sense of joy, and it's a decision. It's a decision to engage in joy from here out. Okay, what are the overall growth and creativity? Yeah, it's having fun together. It's enjoying this together. It's like, here's my ideas. Here's all the things I wanted to do with you. Oh my goodness, let's go do them. And there's a sense of transformation with that purple energy, a sense of deep healing that comes from this, a sense of spiritual connection that comes from this. And there's the growth. Okay, that's the watering energy that I was picking up on, where someone wants to make this right, that wants to plant the seed of new opportunity now. Okay, from here, what we need to do, if we want to get tulips, we need to do this and this and this. You know, this is how you care for it moving forward. It's not looking at the the soil that you had last year and going, well, we'll never grow tulips. It's like, no, well, let's get the right ingredients and we can. Okay, what could be said at this meeting? I wish I could take back my words. I'm feeling actions. I wish I could take back my actions. It might have been words that you overheard. I just heard as well. So perhaps to another party and they heard you heard these words spoken from this person. I'm becoming a better person. They're showing up as a better person, but they're working on more growth. Okay. I will wait for a sign from you. Interesting. This person like was signaled to this event somehow. Yeah. I don't know how. That's going to mean something different to each of you. They had some kind of insight into how this was going to take place. It almost feels very synchronistic that they happen to be in the same place at the same time as you, or that they found out about, like something very strange occurred in order for them to have this encounter with you. It's up to you. Yeah, I think look at the youthful nature of this and how beautifully loved this almost childlike figure is. It's surrounded by hope and dreams and wishes and like wings beneath your wing. I'll be the wind beneath your wings kind of energy there. It's up to you. So if you want to, and that the flame went out then, oh, I'm just hearing like that Beaches song. What a sad, sad movie. Oh my goodness. Look, if you want to move forward, they're more than willing to move forward. That's the energy of that. If you believe, okay? This person is definitely coming across very tender, very fatherly-like, very grounded. And they're like, whatever you want, honey, whatever you want, sweetie. There's that, and not condescending. I have to stress that. It feels very... And I also get the idea that if you believe that this fated meeting is possible, all the more reason that it will happen. It feels like a don't give up hope kind of feeling there. And it's like a macabre kind of crystallized formation. Like it feels like sacred geometry. So, again, like someone was just fated to be in that same location at the same time. Wow. What is the advice here for pile number 2? What is the overall advice when it comes to this encounter? Follow your heart. I am always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. Yeah, ride the wave here. Ride the wave of your feelings, of your emotions. Look, you have a brolly in your hand. Umbrella. For those of you that don't speak fluent Aussie slang. Yes, you have an umbrella. You're prepared for anything. There's really this sense of happy-go-lucky personality within you, and I think whoever this is also mirrors that, and so it makes this situation a lot easier. It feels like it feels good. It feels like you're able to trust the universe here and trust your own inner guidance too. This is why it's up to you, and if you believe, like, I really feel like opening your heart chakra up to this situation and to adventure and passion, if this is that kind of situation, but it can be passion like that you expand and seek through travel and philosophy and experiments and adventure and stuff like that. If you open your heart to the possibilities, it's going to take you to some cool stuff along the way. And that's the sense that I get with this situation. It's almost like you've seen too many people not even try to stand up on the surfboard. Do you know what I mean? And so they therefore miss out, and only a surfer knows the feeling. So go for it. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting here. It's like you're really open to this. and open to the possibilities here. And that is awesome for you. I love that for you. Please let me know how this resonated in the comments below. I know there was certain things here that were super specific. So yeah, I'd be interested to see what landed for you. Take really good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is all about your next encounter with this person. How will it go? What will be said? What's the vibe? I'm just lighting that candle because it went out in pile number 2. You have trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Very much Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. It's a new opportunity. It's an opportunity born from transformation, from a chrysalis with that butterfly there. Trusting that this situation was going to expand, was going to take flight, was going to start over, start fresh, be born again. While I was shuffling your cards, I was picking up like scales in terms of music. And it felt operatic. I don't know if that's the right word. It felt like stage and theatre. So for some of you, that's going to be like resonating really hard. It's interesting that there's 3 butterflies on this. It feels like a group setting, I have to say. I'm really getting the vibe of like free-spiritedness as well. So again, that could be like arts related. Okay, tell us about this situation for pile number 3 and the next encounter that they have with the person on their mind. What will your next meeting be like? We've got the 10 of Swords, the 7 of Wands, Justice. Whoo! Wow. Heavy. I'm going to take all of those. At the bottom of the deck, we have Princess of Wands. Okay. You got more cards than anyone. 9 of Cups. Okay. Okay. Very similar energy, that. The coloring of these last 3 cards is very similar to the trust. It's like over here, gosh, we were going through it. You were in the muck. And then it's like you come out of the cave. Okay, okay. Mumford & Sons, The Cave. That song just came to mind. Okay. It's like the muck and the mild. The muck and the mild. I don't know. And then here you've got, it feels lighter, even though they're not entirely light cards. Okay, let's get into this. With the 10 of Swords and the 7 of Wands, there's been a need to protect yourself from further harm. There's been a need to potentially block someone because they're, I was going to say ego, but it feels like they're alter ego. So it's like I knew you were acting out of character. You also have Justice followed by the 5 of Swords. And yeah, I knew you were acting out of character, so I have given you the benefit of the doubt, but I needed to cut ties with you until you figured that out, until you came to terms with what was going on in your own mind. You could be dealing with someone who very much had like, yeah, a battle of egos within themselves, an ego death within themselves. It's almost like method acting. There's something very creative, very theatrical about your pile, musical even. And someone like method acted so hard. I don't even know if I pronounced any of that properly, but you get my drift. It's like someone lived out their role so intensely that you knew that wasn't the true representation of this person. And this person had to come to terms with how embarrassing that was for them. Okay, there is a sense that this person self-sabotaged this collaboration, okay, with the 3 butterflies, with the trust here. that this person gave up the opportunity to, it was like we were just getting started, you know, we were just getting started, and they thwarted the opportunity to take it further, instead by causing unnecessary drama, instead creating unnecessary pain, to the point where it's been actually beneficial to you. Okay, that's interesting. It's been beneficial to you because in this time you have learnt to stand on your own 2 feet. You have learnt to invest in yourself. You have learnt really strong boundaries, and that trust needs to be earned, not just given because you're in the same troop or group or community. It's like you really were quite trusting of this person too soon, but you were trusting of who they presented as, and then when they flipped, that's where you had to set these boundaries, and you did it like very well. I mean, yes, it hurt you to do that, and yes, you felt like this person was in some kind of competition with you, in some way, shape or form, and that could be like not the usual way of competition, but like they were in competition with your. This is a theme that's been running out through all of these readings. They were almost in competition with your sense of maturity, with your emotional intelligence. And that's why they, like, it's almost like you triggered this person. Your good heart, your good nature, your ability. I think this person hasn't been trusted by very many people in the past. And to put themselves out there in a way where they potentially were given a role where they could live out their dream and they could present their best self, they got way into like the dark aspects of that character or characteristic. Okay, so please apply it how it resonates for you. It could be a job thing. It could be literally what I'm talking about, theater. It could be a friendship where this person was given some kind of platform, stage, to present their best self, but instead they got so enamored by themselves and big egoed of themselves and took on their role too literally that they became like the shadow version of that quality, okay, or that archetype, let's say that. And you had to assert yourself, you had to set a boundary, and it was the right thing to do. Not only did it force this person to face their own inner talk and the way they behaved and their communication style, but I also think that it helped you to see that your good nature, even though it hurt you to do this, your good nature is something that you're probably going to be questioned on, challenged on, and it's unfair. It feels like you're a starseed pile number 3, I have to say. It's someone, you're presenting as someone who is empathetic, who is highly independent, possibly because of a need in your childhood where you felt misunderstood, or that you felt you had to do more, that you had to adult at an early age. And so there's a maturity to you, there's an emotional awareness to you, there's a depth to you that is going to, unfortunately, not attract, but it is going to bring you lessons in life where that resilience, that kindness will be tested. And for starseeds, and for empaths and highly sensitive people, and for people who are on this planet to really make a difference and spread love and light over people, unfortunately we are challenged by many people, but it's not going to lose its shine on you. Like you're still going to see the light. Like I said, darker energy, lighter energy, and it's this mustard kind of color where it feels like this isn't necessary. Like I'm literally feel literal mustard, right? It's like it's not an essential topping. For some of you, you're like, absolutely, Sam, it's an essential topping. But it makes something better, okay? It makes something taste better, or it gives like extra flavor. Like you realize that I could use this, like almost feeling like it's a personal attack, possibly this person said some really low things to you. It feels verbal, definitely. And you could say to yourself, look, I could use this and be really hurt by it and become a victim of it. But I'm choosing to remain above it. I'm choosing to transform from it. I'm choosing to alchemize my pain. I'm choosing to communicate clearly with people. And you don't like to fight fire with fire. You fight it with peace and calmness, and it unnerves people. It really does. Wow. Good on you. I'm going to take that because that was stuck to the bottom. 7 of Wands. Again, 7 of Wands. Look, you're going to have to continue to do this. You're going to have to continue to defend yourself in a positive way and defend that kindness. Nothing will, ain't never gonna break my stride. Ain't never gonna turn me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. It's that kind of energy, okay? I'm not gonna sing too much because I can't. Okay, what is the outcome of this situation when this person and pile number 3 come into contact next? What is the outcome of this situation, please? What is the outcome of this situation? 6 of Coins. There's a letter in the middle of this. 6 of Swords. This person might write you a letter because they're so afraid to face you. They do want to move away from the conflict. And I don't think that they have the courage just yet to say it to your face and verbalize it. I think their voice would be shaky. And so they're really coming across. There's the 9 of Wands again. Did we see that before? Why do I feel like I saw the 9 of Wands? It's a sense of like, they want to see this through. It's like if I can lower my, I'm hearing pretense, okay? So there's something that they're still acting. They are still wearing a false mask in this situation, but they do want to kind of come through with an apology to move this situation. Look at the mirroring of these energies. The 6 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. It's almost giving wings, isn't it? The 6 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. So it's like, I want you to trust me, but it's still underlying. You get the sense that this person doesn't really trust themselves, that they're still going through their like revelation, that they're still going through their chrysalis stage. But it's like there is this tenderness to you where you will be able to see that as a step in the right direction. And by you acting peacefully again, you know, because you acted peacefully before and you didn't engage, you just disconnected, and that's for the best. And it was for the best. And yes, this person understood that, you know, they had to reconcile heart and mind, and they had to put their ego aside here. But they're still not 100% ready is the feeling that I'm getting. And you're just like, it's still you're treating them with kindness, and that is inspiring them. I feel like you're really inspiring this person to do the right thing, even when they don't feel ready, even when their voice is shaking. And that ultimately is the gift of a light worker, is the true resilience of a light worker, is the true patience of a light worker, to see everyone as human, divine in their journey. Knave of Wands and the Princess of Wands and the Knave of Cups. Like, yeah, like this person still has a ways to go. They still have some bridges to repair, but I feel like they're very willing to do so. Again, it feels like they're going to try and use charm to apologize. And I heard charm to disarm, very much picking up that there's some kind of written apology here, and they are trying to kind of like put it to bed in a very friendly, light-hearted way. 8 of Wands. I think that's going to open back up the lines of communication here, which is great. And it's going to, like, really, it's like they want it to be like old times. Like we can just like banter backwards and forwards, you know, talk about practice or talk about, it feels like a team kind of event here or environment here. And it's like, I want to be part of the group chat again. It could be a group of friends, you know, where, that's resonating actually a lot. Yeah. And someone's apologizing, and if there's other people that need to apologize as well, it sort of sets the tone here. And because, look, I think this person, I have to say this, I have to. There's something about this person that has a crush on you. They're intimidated by you? Question mark. They're intimidated by you. You've triggered this person, and no wonder, like, you're coming across so lovely. That I know that's such a small word, but you are. You just come across as someone that they want to be like, and you scared them. This level of openness of you and trust of you, it really like put them in a self-sabotage mindset. But I think this person is coming through, you know, flirty and charming and lovely in return, but you understand that they still have a ways to go. But it's a generous outreach. Like, what they say they have learnt so far is generous enough for you to be like, okay, cool. Yep. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know, you might be vocalizing how much this person, you know, I didn't appreciate your sneaky behavior, and you're just saying it in a fair and friendly manner. And they might be laughing and going, oh, sugar, I know, like, I'm so sorry. Super embarrassed. There's an embarrassment here. But they're trying to move the topic of conversation onto lighter things, and almost like, all right, now that we've had that convo, but you know that they're still healing. They don't want to come across as rushing this, that's for sure. They might even take you out for dinner or lunch or something like that. There's something like, it's almost like you're sitting across the table from each other so that each person gets a fair say. I'm hearing like, or picturing, but I hear like microphones. You know how it kind of has that echo to it? It's so you could be on a podcast with this person. Interesting. They invite you on their podcast. Again, intimidated, but inspired. Okay, what else is at play here for pile number 3? What else is at play? Capricorn, the boss. Yeah, they're intimidated by you. But they also have that ego where they're like, I'm going to show that I'm not intimidated. Not to call out Capricorns, but it's that energy of being so ambitious that they don't like to admit defeat. And they don't, it's like poker face. That's what I'm picking up on, poker face. And Virgo, the alchemist. Yeah, like they're trying to alchemize their pain. You alchemized yours. They're trying to like it's like you leading by example here. This person may have had some therapy, I'm feeling, with that Virgo energy as well, but they'll never admit that to you, okay? There's a wisdom that they've gained, but they're keeping mum about it, like keeping it close to their chest, almost coming from like a very professional standpoint to get this message across to begin with. And then once you've had your piece, they're like, well, yeah, let's just like wrap it up now. You know, it's professional to a point, and then they try and make it friendly because they're still quite intimidated. They're still quite embarrassed, and they still are wearing some kind of mask here. But it's healthy. This is moving forward in a healthy way. And I still think that this person sees you as some kind of magic creature, and that very much speaks to starseed, light worker, empath kind of energy. Keep doing what you're doing, because you do make people nervous in the best possible way, and you do help people to have a come to Jesus moment, or you help people to come back down to earth, because you're so grounded, even though this is the 9 of Cups, and there is this energy about you where you and everything you've achieved and accomplished and overcome, there is an energy that you could be or should be a bit of a bitch, a bit of a, like you could have been an egotist yourself, but you're not. Instead, you work hard on yourself, and you are like methodical about your rituals, and that's how you stay grounded. 2 very grounding earth energies here. It's like, this is how you stay ambitious but realistic. This is how you stay aligned. And you keep refining this. So it's like no one's going to catch up to you. They just have to catch up to themselves. Okay? Ego. Wow. I love it when a reading like wows me. Okay, what could be said here? The timing just wasn't right for us. Yeah, look, I think this person can make excuses until the cows come home about the reason why they fell too far into that other character, why they kind of lived out this role. I don't react when people mention you. Of course they haven't been, because they're ashamed. They're like, unbothered, you know, and that's that poker face that I was picking up with the Capricorn energy. I mean, you could be the same. You're not engaging in gossip, right? Also with that timing, it's again coming into that past energy of, wow, you don't know me very well, but here you are still trusting. And this person was like, oh, let me take advantage of that. One more. I'm afraid to contact you. Yes, they definitely are. They're nervous, but they will. What else is at play here in the near future? This person is going to kind of have that, like I said, and it's not a phrase I use very often, but it's like a come to Jesus moment, okay? They're really going to like see their ego, very similar to this 10 of Swords energy, where it's like, oh, I've got to face myself. I think this person's higher self has a little chat with them in their sleep or something. And in the near future, if you haven't already heard from this person, or you really think that this might not happen, there's a strong chance that it will in the near future. What is the overall energy of this next meeting with pile number 2 or 3 in their person? This person has a lot they have to process. Okay, so in the near future, I was really picking up, if you're wanting it to happen quicker, they're just not ready to, their thoughts are all muddled. They're just not ready to vocalize them. Hence why I think they get annoyed at themselves with how long it's taking, and they write it down in some way. Could be an email. Movement, that's the 8 of Wands that we were getting at the bottom of the deck there. Okay, so it's like, okay, let's move this in the right direction now. Let's pick up the pace. Let's keep it like fun and flirty and friendly again. Okay, and then surrender. Yeah, in the near future, this person surrenders to their transformation process and the muck and the mire that happens. Okay, that cave, you might want to go look up that song. And so they surrender to that. And again, come to Jesus moment. Look, it could very much have to do with something in a church group or a religious group or a spiritual group. It's obviously going to mean something different to each of you. All right, let's get an overall advice card for pile number 3 when next they meet with this person. Okay. Wow, letting go, options, and inspiration. Pile number 1 got both of those cards, I think. Options and letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. Yeah, it's that energy that I was talking about before, of you just you come with a lightness of being, and it serves you very well. Options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I am reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Look, I think people think of you as an oddbod, and that's why it's quite intimidating for other people to see how fast you trust and how quickly you make friends, and also how well that serves you in your life, and how successful you are despite you being what society would typically label as weak or soft, you know. And they're like, oh, maybe there's other options for me. I don't just have to be this one way, like in a bull in a china shop. I don't always have to be the boss and win everything. I can quietly go about it, and there's something quietly winning about you, and they're inspired by that. You have inspiration. Speaking of, there is a voice of inspiration within me. Right now, it's only a whisper, but the more I listen, the louder it will get. Soon it will be a flawless speech, voiced by James Earl Jones through a megaphone with lots of applause. What? What kind of stage? Is this person going to like dedicate a song to you? Oh, no, you are. This is your advice. This is why you're the alchemist, okay? You turn your pain, 3 of Swords, you turn hardship into fuel, right? 5 of Wands, you turn it into fuel for your creations, for your experiments, for like your gold. You turn it into something so tangible. You turn nothing into something. And that's what you're going to do with this. There's something about you voicing a song or poetry. But as you listen to the whispers of your, like this, if you didn't know this about yourself and now you know, right? And you will know if that resonates for you. If you didn't know that about yourself, now you know why you are so good at using that like tortured artist vibe, but creating something so healing and beautiful out of it. So that's lovely for you. I adore that. That's a big awakening for you. And that's why lessons like this happen to us light workers in our journeys, especially when it comes to love, unfortunately, and friendships. But you have options here. You have the option to let go, which I think you have. You have the options about how weird and eclectic your friend group is going to be and how different you are, right? The little shrimp in the sundae here. It's like, yeah, I'm okay with being a little bit different. And there was something like free spirited that I was picking up initially when this card came out. Yeah, so I hope this resonates in some way, shape or form. Please tell me how, because like this feels so specific, but I love it. I love it. Look after your beautiful selves. Thank you so much for being here. Good luck with this. I'll see you in the next one.